Welcome to another episode of Lifestyle After Five right here on WDJY. Tonight we are trucking and we are trilling. We having the one and only Derrick Crowley with us. You might know this guy if you follow him on YouTube from Derrick Crowley TV. He's a truck driver, which he's always showing off on social media, his truck driving skills and how he can back in a double big rig, a big rig with two trailers on it. He's also into the spiders and the slingshots and motors. He's into motorsports. I mean, he rides
Yeah.
anything riding, he's riding. I think the man every weekend he's somewhere in a different city. If he ain't trucking, he riding on something with 2 to 3 wheels on it, from 18 to two wheels. This man is he's what you call a real professional driver. I want to welcome you to the show. Derrick, how you doing?
Good, good, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm out here.
That's what's up, man. Welcome.
I sure appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna jump right on in this. Seeing you and you seem to be really good. It's almost inspired to make me want to drive an 18 wheeler. I seen you show your skills off, but what uh, persuaded you to become a truck driver?
Man, I got into trucking. I was working like in a warehouse job. I
Hmm.
started in 2008. So, man, I just got tired of being in the warehouse job. You coming into work every day and man, you just don't like it. I didn't like it. So, I was like, I used to pass by Swift Transportation. It was like where in the area where I used to work at. And I talked to one of the drivers that was up there, and they had their own school. They got their own trucking school. You can go to school. They send you to school. They'll help you get your CDL, and you can drive for them. And when you drive for them, I mean, you don't have to pay for the school. So I did that. You really didn't have to pay, but it's over the road. That's what I was saying. That's what everybody don't want to do is go over the road. So man, I didn't have a problem
Now,
with it.
what is over the road? Is that like coast to coast or something like that?
Yeah, that's when you go out and you don't come back. You might be gone 2 weeks. That's the requirements like gone 2 weeks at a time before you come back home.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What?
so
I guess that's not bad if you're trying to do a startup for a career. How long you have to drive for them?
for that, when I first started, you go through the schooling and how much of it was, I remember how much it was, but you work for them for 1 year and that'll pay for the school. So you work for another year and they'll give you the money back. So it really be for free because they'll be giving you the money back like every week on your check. The money that they took out, they'll give it back. So
Now,
that's for 2 years.
when you gone for the 2 weeks and you out on the road, what is the pay structure like? Is it like, well, you pay per hour or is it just per the load?
It's about a mile. When you
About
do
a
over
mile.
the road trucking, yeah, it's about a mile. So every company paid different, man. It's crazy. They need to just have one flat, mileage rate, but they didn't. In 2008, when I started, it was like 27 cent a mile.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's low. But it was a
Every
lot
person.
then. It was still more than like working at a warehouse or doing anything else. Trust me.
Well, I mean, every 4 miles is a dollar, a little over a dollar, but now you're not
Yeah,
responsible for the maintenance and the gas and the fuel, though, are you?
right.
Fuel.
No, you're not responsible for none of that.
So I mean,
No, that's
if
the
you
thing
like
about it.
a venture for it as a novice, I mean, sound very interesting to do and to get into it. I know I got a friend which I told you about. He has gotten into trucking and went to get his CDL, and I've
Right.
seen those where, matter of fact, around the corner they got a truck driving school for me. So do they still have those programs where, hey, you drive for us, we pay for your school around,
They do, but it's got to be one of the trucking companies. It's like if you go to the school, so then now you owe the school.
and
But
then you
if you
got to
go
find you a job. Yeah.
right, then you got to find your own job. Some of them have a program where they put you with a trucking company. But I mean, why do all that when you can just go to the trucking company, go through their school, their program, and that's everything all in one.
Hmm.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Yeah, so they'll teach you how to do it. I know they still do the training, like you go through the school. When I did it, the school was only 3 weeks. So you go
That
through the
quick?
school. Yeah, yeah. In case, well, unless you fail one of the courses, then it'll be another week and another week. You know what I mean? So, but if you go through everything, it's 3 weeks. You have your CDL, then they put you with a trainer for 6 weeks, and you'll
Oh,
be
okay.
over the road with a guy. They don't just put you in the truck and tell you to go.
I'm finna say 3 weeks.
So,
You just in the truck? Oh
yeah,
man, I need some. I need some time. I
yeah,
mean, oh, you just
yeah.
can't you do me like that.
Yeah, because that'll be ugly. But some people do it. If you go through the school, And like we was talking, like your friend, if he wanted to do, he go to the school, he don't want to go over the road, so he'll try to get another job in the city, which is probably the worst thing you can do because you don't know how to drive yet.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
definitely you're gonna end up having an accident, and you gonna have a short trucking career just not going out and learn how to drive.
Mm.
so it's harder in the city than it is on the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
There's
mean,
a lot
like,
more turns, a lot more stopping, stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As far as the traffic and learning how to swing the trailer around, looking in your mirror, it's a lot going on when you first do it.
Mm.
So it's the reason why they want you to go over the road first.
And
And then
so,
there's the gear shifting.
oh,
Yeah, well, then they had like 8 speed, 10 speed, but now everything is going to automatic. So you really just have to
that's
drive.
easier than.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. You ain't got to shift gears no
It,
more.
right. It sound easy.
Yeah.
Well, let me
Well,
rephrase
Yeah,
that.
easier.
It's not
right,
easy by
easier.
no means, but it's
Right,
easier. It's less I got to concentrate on if I'm looking in
Yeah.
every mirror, and I got to concentrate on this gear and getting up to speed and then breaking it back down. And oh Lord,
right.
traveling through the mountains and stuff like that, where
I'd
you
rather
go,
do that. Give me the 10 speed, you know what I mean? So, like
Oh
you said,
wow.
it sound easier, but being able to downshift and shift the way you want to is a lot better than automatic because it's slower. So you
Mm.
just can't pull out in traffic because it ain't gonna go fast. So
Mm.
that's another
yeah.
issue you got to deal with. You got to wait for the truck to shift gears and do all of that. So that's a whole nother issue you got to deal with.
So how long you been trucking?
From 2008, so that's about 16 years.
16 years of experience,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
you probably got a lot of stories. So give me one of your most memorable stories.
Man, the most memorable story, man, I guess when I was up in the mountains. You go up in the mountains like for the first time, your trainer is the one that's supposed to take you into all of this kind of stuff anyway, just to get you ready. So you go from Memphis to something like Seattle, Washington. That way it's a lot of hills and now they got real mountains out west. The out west is where you want to go to learn how to shift the truck and downshift and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you get kind of nervous out that way.
Mm. That's man.
Yeah, and it's snowing. It might be sunshine,
Oh, like
down south. We all from south, so once you go west, it might be snowing or you might have a blizzard or anything. So man, then it get ugly.
I can only imagine, like, yeah, definitely dealing with the climate and the change of the weather stuff, man.
Yeah,
It's got to be crazy and a little scary.
right. Oh yeah, it's definitely scary, man. It's people they really go out and people lose their life, not paying attention or not like knowing what to do. You know what I mean? So you definitely
Yeah.
don't want to do that, man. So that's why I say it sound good when people say they want to do trucking, but you really got to be into it, man. It's what you want to do, cause man, I mean it's accidents and everything happen every day.
Man, yeah. So, what are some of the biggest challenges that you guys face as truck drivers?
Man, the main challenge I always talk to people is like learning how to make money. So that's like what people want to do, but you got to know how to make money.
So, it ain't just
So
clocking in and driving and making money.
no,
Okay.
no, because that's when you do your training. They want you to at least drive like for 10 hours. In trucking, well, this the rule. Like for the trucker, you got 14 hours, like that you can only be behind the wheel, right?
Okay.
But you can only drive for 11 hours in a day.
Mm.
So you have to be like wherever that load has to be within that time. I mean, if you got 1,000 miles, you have to at least drive as far as you can to get there. So you can't drive 3 hours and go to sleep, 2 more hours, lay down again. You know what I
mhm.
mean? So
Yeah.
you really have to do it. That's another thing. I tell people the truck ain't gonna drive itself. You actually have to do it. You can't cheat. So
Well, it's funny you bring that up because how do you manage that with the long hours and the recovery and knowing that hey, it's been a long day, I'm tired, I'm not feeling well, but I gotta make 500
right,
miles a day. How do you manage
right.
that?
Well, for me, it's easy. I mean, even when I started, because I used to like driving, I used to do it anyway. You know what I mean? From Memphis to Blytheville. I mean, that's where we grew up at. So it's like going
Shout out
back
to
and forth.
Bible.
Yeah, definitely. So I always like to drive and travel places anywhere. So it's easy for me. But for people that don't want to drive or be sitting still, they might need to, do something else.
I mean, but is a difference between 55 miles back and forth and when you're going hundreds of miles.
Right,
Like I said,
right.
rain, sleet, snow, you gotta eat, use the bathroom
Man.
breaks and everything.
Definitely, definitely. It's definitely different. But to me, it just came easy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When I had a job, I worked at this company. We used to put together office cubicles.
Hmm.
So I drove a box truck. They say like the 30-foot box truck. So that's like a bigger vehicle than a regular car. So I
Hmm.
used to always drive that. So like I said, other guys they didn't want to drive it because it was too big. But I don't know, for some reason for me it just came easy. So I just jumped in to do it.
Now you mentioned making money as one of the challenges, and I started. I don't know. I really got interested. I found this guy on TikTok, the Trucker Shade Room. I don't know if
Right,
you're familiar. And the guy, he's always got his phone, and he's got like a crack iPhone. Like, man, take a look at this stupid dumbass load right here. And it's really comical with it. And he's got
right,
this trucking thing on his app that he look into. Like they want to pay me, $500 or $1,600 to go 1,000 miles for this load, and I'm carrying so
right,
many pounds. And look at the operating costs on this. This is
right,
free. They want me to drive 1,000 miles for free. They don't want to pay me for this. Look at the operating costs. Look at the fuel. And then I got to
right.
put some tolls in there. Let's call him and see if I can get a little bit more money.
And,
And he's
and they ain't
hilarious.
gonna give you no more money.
And he'll call them up. Hey, how you doing? I was saying, is this load still available? I'm trying to say, I got to go 1,000 miles. Can I get a little bit more money for this? And he's like,
Right,
nah, I can't do this. Have a good day, sir.
right, exactly.
But
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
really
They ain't gonna
become
give you no more
famous.
money.
Yeah, he,
Yep.
he, he didn't become famous on TikTok with
Right.
it. And I didn't realize that by watching it, it made me realize how strategic you have to be. Because I used to think that it was just like, hey, get in the truck, they pay you,
That's what
or you
everybody
set
said.
your
Yeah.
own price or whatever. I'm gonna
Yeah.
charge for this load, they pay you for this load, and you go drive, drop it off, and keep it moving. But it's not that simple. You got to know, like I said,
Right.
strategic how to pick a load up, and then you need a load coming back,
That
and,
well, you have
and
to
wait.
be a real truck driver to get like where he at to even know what he talking about. So when I try to break it down to people, so he got his own authority, he got his own truck. So it's like running a business. So if they want to pay you 500 miles, let's say from Memphis to Dallas, that's
Mhm.
like 400 or whatever mile, 475 miles. So your fuel cost, I mean, it might be $500 already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you just spent that, you know what I mean?
hey,
So
you
ain't
ain't
no
made
need
no
to take
money.
that. Yeah, you make no money. You
You
might be
took this
negative.
load. Yeah, you
Right.
negative twenty
So
dollars. You ain't got enough money to even eat on the
right.
road.
Yeah, so
And
that's
then not to
your
mention
fuel
maintenance if
costs
the
and
truck
everything.
break down or
Yeah.
tolls and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah, you're in trouble. So
Now,
that's what
do you learn that when you're working for the other companies, like you say, the companies that you go to school with, and you drive for them? Do they teach you that in school?
no, don't they don't teach you that at all. They teach you how to drive for them.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know how to put the key in there and start
Right. They
it.
don't want you to have an accident. That's what they teach you. Don't have an accident. They try to teach you to get from A to B. That's like the basics, you know what I mean, of trucking, what you do at the school. That's why I say you got to learn how to make money.
So
You
how do
go.
one learn that? So a new truck driver, I done got my CDL, and I didn't manage not to
Mhm.
wreck, and I didn't got my hours over the road. How do I learn how to make money now?
You just gotta keep driving. I mean, that's where the experience come in at. Like
But
when I talk to people and they ask me, they see me driving like where I'm at now, they want to go from school to where I'm at. So,
Nah,
you
you
know,
gotta
they didn't
start where
start
you
out in 2008 like I did. So
at. Right.
they want to be here. So I'm like, man, you got to go through that first. At least do 2 years over the road to learn how to drive and to even know what I'm telling you. Because I
Mhm.
can give you all the information right now, and it's gonna be like Chinese. You don't know what I'm talking about. Like you said with the fuel, you ain't gonna know what I'm saying. So you have to go through that just to know, like
so
what the
it's
rules
almost
of it.
like you got to have a mentor once even after you start driving for 2 years, whatever. You actually need a mentor
Right.
to learn how
Yeah.
to manage the business if you're gonna go independent on your own.
If you man, that's a whole nother story right there. Because a lot of people still, I mean, like they say, it's like a business. So in the first whatever 5 years, say most businesses fail.
Right.
So you could buy a truck, you could buy a trailer, you can do all of that, but that don't mean it's gonna work. Because like they saying now, the economy is all messed up. So the prices are not right, like that guy you was looking at. So man, they struggling right now. So they might make a lot of money. They say you make $3,000, which is a lot of money to like regular people. But if your expenses are $2,300,
Hmm.
you're only making 8. So you back where you started. Like you might as well have a regular job.
Hmm.
Yeah, you ain't really doing that. Now,
Right.
with you mentioning that, where do you see the industry going? Have you what changes have you seen in the trucking industry since 2008?
Man, the prices go up and down. I'm gonna tell you with
Okay.
whoever is president and how that go. I'm telling you. So wherever the economy at, the prices like up, down, like what as far as like the companies pay and the owner operator pay. So that's two different things, like a company and a person that has their own truck as an owner operator, because they got to look at the fuel costs and everything like that. But as a company driver, you just drive. They give you a certain pay. You
Hmm.
just drive like that. So it's less worry and all that.
Now, there are rumors as technology is getting greater and greater of AI trucks coming, and basically like the Teslas, you
Right.
have trucks basically driving themselves or
Right.
whatever. Do do you see that as a threat? Obviously, it's a threat in the trucking industry. How does that make you feel, and what do you think about the future of trucking?
I don't think it happened in our lifetime, but of course they want uh robots. They want to replace everything. They want to replace the Uber drivers, taxi drivers,
Well, they already
McDonald's
are in
workers.
California. I mean, in
Yeah, they
California,
they
they
trying it
are.
in
They
certain
do have.
areas too, though.
Yeah, they have driverless Ubers in California.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
So
they
I don't
trying.
know. In the next 10 or 15 years with Elon Musk doing what may happen. Yeah, I think it's at least 20 years from now.
Hmm.
Long
20.
after we too old to drive and we
Right.
got
That's what
our
I'm saying. Not in our
license taken.
lifetime.
But
Yeah.
for the new Gen Z, it's like, would you recommend Gen Zers to get in trucking or hold off?
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like what? I don't even understand how would they do that, because it's more than just driving from Memphis to Arkansas.
Right.
The truck got to back into the dock. Somebody got to unload it. I
Hey,
mean, so
cars are parallel parking
yeah,
nowadays.
it's a lot to it though. So who?
That's true. That's
Okay,
true too.
okay. Let's look at it like this. They got an automatic truck. If I
Mhm.
stop in front of the truck, it's gonna stop.
Yeah.
So now you got whoever else in the back unloading the truck. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
how you gonna stop that? So that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to go to it. Like I said,
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
see
It's
it
a
as it
lot
being
that they got to
anytime.
figure
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
I
but
And
mean,
you can unhook the trailer. Okay, say because they got trucks now. Like when we driving, when people in front of you, they slow down. So and if
mhm.
they stop, the truck gonna stop, whether I hit the brake or not. So if you get in front of a truck, it's gonna stop. So what's gonna stop you from unhooking the trailer if you don't have a driver or something like that? So
Mm.
that's what I'm saying. That's a lot to go with it. So they got to figure out. That's why I say not in our lifetime. I can't see
Okay.
it.
all
It's
right.
got to
So
be somebody to watch it.
I feel you on that, man. Definitely got to be watching. But so that's definitely futuristic stuff. So let's talk about
Yeah, yeah.
how technology is helping you out. How's it playing a part right now, present day?
Man, it's making it harder. Like I said, as far as like all of the gadgets and gadgets in the
It's supposed to
truck.
be easier.
No, it make it harder
I
because
would
they
think it's
do it.
so. Maybe GPS, but that's probably about it, right? Everything else is just extra.
Yeah, it's a lot extra. Because like I said, with the braking, man, they got like buzzers on the trucks. They putting cameras in the trucks.
Oh
But they
man.
some of them got where you can see the driver. You can see in front of you and the driver.
Wow,
So
they
the
really
truck
monitoring
in
you
brake.
now.
Oh, so they monitor
Yeah,
your distance and everything.
yeah,
God,
just
please.
following distance. That's what they call that. So it's really making it harder with that type of technology.
You know, with the GPSs, you can't get away with anything. I mean, shoot, I did a DoorDash here and there, and they can detect a hard break through the GPS.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get hard break
Yeah.
detected. Like, dang.
They got it. They got all of that in the 18 wheeler probably first. They probably put it in the 18 wheeler first before they put it in the cars. You mean so that's
That's tough,
all.
man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see how that makes it hard on y'all, man. Especially
Yeah.
if you used to just freewheeling and driving your way. Now you
Yeah.
got to change everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So,
but I can tell you are a real trucker, and this is what I want you to explain. Let me talk to you like a trucker. I got to talk to you on a trucker level.
Come on with it. What you got? Your earpiece? You
Here we
come
go.
on with it.
Here we go.
I
Here we go.
had mine on.
Now we can talk.
Right.
Now I'm a real trucker. Now I
Hey,
can communicate on your
take that
level
shit
now.
off, man.
Nah, keep it on.
What's with the truckers
Oh
He
in
at
the
man.
home now.
earpiece?
He feel at home now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's with the truckers
Yeah.
in the earpiece? You ain't no real truck. It's just like the badge. It's like a giving
Yeah,
a
I
deputy
got
his
mine.
gun.
Look, I don't go nowhere without mine. I don't know if I can put it on there.
No
I
trucker
got it close
does.
by.
No trucker does. I mean,
Yeah,
you see them. You're in restaurants. I mean, I've seen the
man.
social media posts of
They
the
everywhere with them joints.
they laughing,
Yeah,
they order, and they talking loud in restaurants. They talking to the girl.
yeah,
They in the shower with the earpiece on.
yeah.
They laying in the bed with the earpiece on.
That
Man,
must
I
be
love it.
that's got to be a forbidden secret or something. Y'all can't put that
Yeah,
motherfucker
what
down.
is it? Some type of secret
Man,
knowledge in there? You got to have ear. You ain't no real trucker if you walking around and you ain't got your earpiece on.
right.
Yeah,
Man, that thing
That's
is
your
so
uniform.
convenient. It's so convenient to talk to somebody with it, and I can hear them. They can hear me because you see people that's driving with their phone like this, right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm like, what is you doing? So, and then if
Well,
you
well,
try to talk on the phone, you can't hardly hear people. Some people phone is volume is low. I don't know what they doing with the phone where you can't even talk on them no more.
now,
With a trucker, I can always hear you.
regular earbuds won't work.
Nah, you gotta have
I
that
don't
mic on
like it.
there. You gotta
Yeah, I
have that
don't
mic
like it.
around your face.
Yeah, because you can always hear it. You can hear me, I can hear them, and I don't go nowhere without mine. I don't care what nobody say. They be talking
I
about me
do.
too, so I might cut
And
the grass with it on.
what I'm saying, y'all do everything because what you Bluetooth it don't do. It's like
Yeah,
Bluetooth in
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
You listen to
Man,
music, man. You can do it all, like hands
that's
free.
hey, that's what's up,
So,
man. I ain't mad at it, but
hey,
y'all definitely keep that joint on y'all. It's like that's
oh
like
yeah,
your everyday carry.
yeah, yeah,
oh yeah, you gotta
yeah.
have that.
As far as driving, man, I'm telling you, man, that thing work. It
That's
work.
what's up. So, Derry, what advice would you give somebody new just thinking about getting into trucking though?
Man, just do the training. Like go over the road for 2 years. That's what I tell everybody. Because if you don't, I mean, some people, are exceptional, which they'll make it, and most people won't. Because if you
Mm,
don't have somebody to show you what to do or explain it to you, because it takes time. Like, when they first give it to you, it's a lot of information at one time. So you're not gonna get everything. So the information that you can get in them 2 years, it might take you 5 years if you try to learn it by yourself or you keep asking people because you work by yourself. So
mm-hmm.
when you're in the truck, you're by yourself. So you can't turn and ask somebody. So if you don't know somebody that's doing it, how you gonna get the information?
True.
So man, you gotta
Facts.
be out there and talk to people that's doing what you doing. And you just gotta learn it. Ain't no way around it. That's what I say.
So you would say this is definitely a true hands-on job. That's how you
Yeah.
learn. Okay.
Yeah. Now, after you do your 2 years, I mean, then I would advise them to go local. That way, a lot more as far as like turning the corners and man doing stuff. And I do like local driving now. And
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm put in situations where man, I'm like, hey man, this ain't it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
That's
I
from
want
a
to go back over the
16-year
road.
vet.
So yeah, so
So
man, it's
yeah,
like you gotta know what to do and what not to do. So what you can say, look, I ain't doing it. So,
yeah.
you get to the point where it's like it ain't happening. So if you knew, they'll still try to do it and still having accidents. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So they
yeah. I've
don't know
seen
not to say I'm not gonna do it.
these trucks on these little small roads, and people I realize that's
Yeah.
a real danger and a real threat. I lost one of my good friends and Masonic buddies due to trucking. He had, which I don't know
mm,
why they allowed him. It was weird where he would just black out,
Mm.
and he
Oh, okay.
blacked out one day driving his personal car, and they had took him off the road for a while. Luckily, he was in the car with his wife, and she was able to grab the wheel and
Right.
stop it.
Okay.
So they observed him and evaluated him, and they cleared him to go back to driving. And at the time, he was driving for Domino's, and one night, him and his partner, I guess they was taking turns driving back from Domino's, and
Mm.
he was driving, and I don't know. I guess he blacked out, and it was a bad accident. He ran, hit a sign, one of those
Mm.
interstate signs,
dang.
and and then ran a ditch, and it ended up killing him. The guy that was riding with him, the
Man, see,
sign
that's
that
bad.
he hit fell over into the other side of traffic,
Dang.
causing another trucker to have to swerve, and that trucker
Yeah.
went off and he killed the other trucker.
Woo.
Right, man.
But
That's
yeah,
bad.
it's a lot. I mean, it shut 75 down with time. I was living in Atlanta, and
Right.
it was years ago, and so it had, it was all on the news, big trucker accident. But I didn't actually find out later, up to like a couple of months later, that it was him.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot, man. It go on like a lot more than people know. I mean, because they can't report all of the accidents because unless they're in the city, like you said, it's close to Atlanta. But just
Hmm.
think about on the interstate in between cities where the news is not
Hmm.
even, reporting it. So, I mean, used to see accidents every day on the highway. I mean, like no matter where you go from Memphis to Atlanta, from Memphis to Nashville, they ain't even that far.
Yeah.
Just
Hmm.
on I-40 alone, man, it's accidents every day, man. Just stuff like that.
That's why you
Wow.
So you
never
definitely
ride in between trucks. You don't get in front
right,
of a truck
yeah.
and slow down. People do stupid stuff.
They do it. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
And I'm scared of
And
them
for
trucks on the
the
highway.
Yeah,
And for the life of me, whether you are a trucker or a regular car, the left lane is not where you go to speed limit.
right,
Nah,
right.
it's a
Just
Stay
fast
the
lane.
pass.
hell
Yeah,
out
just
of the left
pass
lane.
and get on
That's
out
what
the way.
causes more accidents.
Yeah,
People hogging the left lane. Get
Yep.
over it.
yeah.
That
I'm
that
gonna
that,
tell you
that is
like
terrible.
I'm gonna tell you like a thing that people ask me now. Since I drive for a company, they govern the company trucks down. I think our trucks go 66, so
Hmm.
I can't go over 66. So if there's another truck in front of me that's going 66, that means that's gonna cause my truck to slow down to maybe
Hmm.
55. So
Hmm.
now once I get over in the left lane and try to pass him,
You got to
he
speed up.
speed up. Yeah, so but I can't pass him because I can only go 66 and I can't get back over. So it's
Damn.
crazy the way they do that. So you
Yeah.
can't even
Yeah, but
go the
he
speed
should.
limit.
Well, sometimes you got to say, I actually experienced that when a little bit of that when I was driving one of a rider truck, and they got those
Yeah.
governed, and me not
Yeah,
Hmm.
being a
you can only go
professional
so
truck driver,
fast.
I was trying. I had the monitor because, like I said, I can only go so fast to try to
Right.
pass the car, and
Right.
then they speed up. Then you got to try to get there. I have to give up and get back in
Get
the
back
lane.
over. Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I didn't know that the trucks couldn't go up, and that means that y'all got to
yeah.
go even slower in the mountains when y'all going
Oh, yeah.
uphill
Yep.
when
Yep.
it's a
Definitely.
straight up uphill. That
Yeah. I ain't
really,
trying to go. I ain't trying to go in the mountains no more. I know better. That's when I first started.
I'm always afraid to be in front of a truck going downhill.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, it'll stop nowadays, so you ain't got to worry about it.
Well, the trucks
So
the trucks automatically stop because you hear stories of
yeah.
brakes being burnt out and stuff
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
mountain.
coming down mountains. Yep.
Coming down mountain, the
Oh yeah.
trucker loses brakes. So
But
they
that's
gotten a
people don't
lot
know what
better
they
with
doing.
technology.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, but now, like I said, the truck will stop. If you go on your cruise control, it's gonna slow down for you, so you don't even have to do nothing.
Oh, that's
It's
even
just gonna
better.
slow down.
But see,
Yeah.
I don't know whether I got that new trucker that just got his license last month or not, or
Right.
whatever.
You better
So
get over. You
I
better
don't
get over.
trust none of them. Like I said,
I
I
don't
had
blame you.
one almost ran me off the road a few months ago. I was
Mm,
in the left lane, and I'm speeding, I'm speeding up to pass him, and he just like, well, I'm coming over on me, and I had to go
right,
over in the median and get back on the road. I
Mm-mm.
don't know if he didn't see
right.
me or what. They need back cameras on trucks,
Side
They'll still
cameras.
do it.
side and
They'll
back
still do it.
cameras. Oh well, some
Yeah.
of them just gonna bully you because I mean they're
Yes.
Yeah,
gonna
you
win
go.
that battle every
They
time.
gonna win. Yeah.
But think about this: nobody wants to be behind the 18 wheeler. So
Nah.
if I'm driving the truck and I need to get over, I cut my blinker on. Everybody gonna speed up, so I can't get over. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
You
can't
right.
win. So it's like
but you got to be patient.
get over
You bring
now
up a
or
good
never.
point. Well, you make a good point. You have to be patient as a truck driver,
Yeah. But
or
Yes.
you only got like a certain amount of time. Okay, you see the truck coming behind you. You see the truck in front of you going slow. So it's either go ahead and get over now, or you're not gonna be able to get over because you see a line of cars coming in the left lane. So you got to jump over now,
Yeah. And
or
I'm
you're gonna
glad
be
you
too
saying
close to
some
the
of this
truck.
stuff too, bro. Because on the highway, when people driving, y'all are some of the most hated people in America.
I get it. I mean, we drive cars too, so I hate being
Yeah.
behind a truck in my car because I could go faster and I just pass them. You know what I mean? So, but as far as like in a truck, you can't pass. So man,
Yeah.
it's
Now,
The double standard.
another thing I noticed, a lot of women are starting to enter into this trucking business and industry now.
Yeah, why? I don't know. I mean, I guess because the money, I get that
Trying to
part.
get that
Yeah, yeah, but
bag.
man, I mean, it's not as easy as people think. If you know, man, I would tell a female, I don't know why would you do that, because I
Hey
know
man,
everything I went through, and it's not easy. You go on over the road. I mean, you by yourself. You gotta go through a lot, man, to just
Mhm.
just to do that.
Well,
that's
I guess
the
they want to prove
equality
that
in
the women
America.
can do it too. Yeah, equality in America. They got to prove that they can do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we could do some of the things they could do, but we ain't gonna choose to do it. You know what I
true.
mean? So
That's why we
Well,
like,
different.
no, it's like,
some do. I mean, no, some do. Some choose to do
Hey,
yeah,
some
some
things
do,
they
but
can
hey, they can have that. You can have that.
we not going
Yeah.
there today.
Right, right.
do.
They can have that.
But no, I want to ask you, switch gears a little bit. So now you went from trucking and you done had this 18, what you said, over 18 years, over 20, well, yeah,
16, yeah,
16
16
years
years
of trucking
driving, yeah.
experience and everything. So now when did you discover the passion for the two and three wheels?
Man, I had a partner of mine, and well, I think Marcus, my cousin, they used to always ride their bikes, and I never
Yeah,
got
the
a
rough
bike.
rider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, he did the Rough Riders, but I had a partner of mine. He was like, "Man, let's get us some bikes," and I was like, "Okay." So we got some bikes, and he learned how to ride. So he was showing me how to ride. So I had a two wheel, like a Suzuki 600 bike first. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
learned how to ride on. So man, it just started from there. It started from there.
Hey. So how long you been riding motorcycles?
Those I think it had to be at least about 7 years, something like that.
And you familiar with all the events and stuff, the big events?
Man, I'm just not getting caught up on the events. Maybe 3 years, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Cause I used to go to them, but it wasn't such a big deal. Cause I was always working and doing something, but it wasn't a big deal. But now, like I'm doing it like more since I got the three wheel bike. So that's when I started from doing like the Riker. That's why I'll tell you they got the Riker, they got the Spider, and the Slingshot.
Now
So
Mm-hmm.
break
it's a
that
whole
down for the
different,
people. Yeah, because
yeah,
I didn't understand that. I was thinking everything was I called everything a slingshot.
Yeah.
right, right. Like the ones on the screen right here, those are the Spiders. And the one I think on the right side is a Riker. So they like
hmm
different sizes. So
Okay.
the Rikers, they're like the smallest one. So they got a 600 and a 900, like as far as the CCs. And the Spiders are like 1300 CCs. So it's a little bit.
Now, is it easier to ride one of those than it is a regular two wheel motorcycle?
Man, definitely, definitely. I still got my Hayabusa, Suzuki Hayabusa, but I always ride my three wheel bike because I feel more comfortable. I feel
More
safer.
control.
Yeah, man. I'll
Okay.
tell you, I can ride, don't worry about nothing on that bike. I just feel a lot safer, you know what I mean, being on the three wheels. All of us getting a little bit older, so hey, I don't want to be out there. I don't need no problems and no accidents,
You right, man.
nothing like
Now,
that. So
now the slingshot it drives more like a car, right?
yeah, that's what I was trying to do now. I'm gonna put like these are the slingshot,
Oh
so they're a
man,
little bit bigger like a car, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
those cost
So
about as much as a car, don't they?
yeah, they all do. So
Yeah.
they
Get
all
20,
do.
30,000.
Yeah. So the Rikers, they started off at maybe 9,000, maybe 9 to 13,000. The Spiders, let me see, I'm gonna put that back up there too. The Spiders, they like 20 to 30. It
Mm,
depends on if it's a bigger one. The Rikers on the right side of the screen, like right behind me.
yeah.
So the one like the Spider, like this guy right here, he got the Dallas Cowboys. See,
hmm
I know you like them Dallas
Oh
Cowboys. He
yeah,
got a
how about
whole
them
bike, yeah,
cowboys?
yeah. So man, that thing probably like 32. You know what I mean? 33,000. That's the big one.
And
And
I
like you
ain't
said,
counting
the
all the
slingshot is
accessories and
30.
the money that people put into this.
Yeah, no, that ain't even with none of that. That's just like just buying it, just
Just
getting
a
it.
basic bike.
Right. Yeah. So then they put a lot more into it.
Dang.
So yeah, it's a lot. All of them like cost. The Riker, like most people started getting that one because of the price, because it was, like I think a 600 Riker was like 9,000, like right at 9,000.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Now,
lot of people started getting old.
I'm always I've always been a little afraid to ride motorcycles, but I am especially paranoid when I see bikers, especially two-wheel bikers, ride motorcycles in the rain.
Right. Ah, man, I don't like that. The Harleys, there's a lot different, man. I don't know. I never rode a Harley, but I see them guys, they don't care if it's raining, snowing, they
Yeah.
riding.
Well,
So,
my
but
thing is, if you drive in a car and you hit a puddle in a car, it would throw a car. It move a
right,
car. I couldn't
yeah,
imagine going 30, 40 miles on a motorcycle and hit a puddle where
right,
there's just no room for error.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
you think about this though. Most motorcycles you see, they ain't doing 30, 40 miles.
Well, they doing
Yeah,
faster.
they
Yeah.
moving. Yeah, they
They
moving.
60, 70, 80
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
rain.
Man, I don't know what they got with them Harleys. I can't even explain it. But I mean, I don't know. Those guys, they just ride. I won't do it. I definitely won't ride like the sports bike in the rain because you definitely gonna fall on a
Yeah.
sports bike. So I don't know what the hardest got that keep them up or keep them guys from riding. But they don't pull over. They don't care if it's raining or what. So
Nah, I'm
got to
like
be a
Ali,
different.
man. I always wanted one, and I almost got one. Then my conscience told me, you're gonna die on this bike.
Well, you you hope you don't. You know what I mean? So
That's just
But
as
nah, I'm
dangerous.
gonna tell you why, cause I got I'm gonna try to push it to the limit. As soon as I get it, don't even know how to ride it yet. So I ain't gonna make it long.
Oh
And
if
yeah,
you
you,
do it by yourself, like at night, you know what I mean, you'll be all right and just
yeah,
learn like
that's
what
why I
you
ain't
could
got
do.
one, man. My wife said
Yeah.
you don't know how to take stuff slow. I'm straight 100. The first day I get it, I'm doing 150.
at
Right.
night,
Oh man.
riding at night, you better know them streets because you don't know which potholes you're gonna run
Right.
into and everything. You better know
That's
your.
why. That's why God
Definitely.
spoke to me and said, "No, son, this ain't for
Yeah, you
you."
probably don't need one. Yeah. Even on these three-wheel bikes in the
Yeah,
three-wheel bike community, we had like people that have had, fatal accident.
yeah,
So they I guess don't want to say that they don't respect it as a motorcycle, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot safer and you got three wheels,
yeah.
but people have hit curves and
Mm-hmm.
was thrown off the bike and
Mm-hmm.
they end up not making it. So even like recently, I was at an event. We was in Atlanta, and the guy he was from Philadelphia. So we was like at a light. They was like somewhere by themselves trying to catch up with the group, and they were saying he turned at a light and he hit one of the medians. He hit a
Ugh.
curve, like his front wheel hit a curve and threw him off the bike. And man, I mean, he was really injured really bad. Thankfully he made it, but he's still in recovery now. You know what I mean? That
Mm.
was what, a month ago. That was like 4th of July weekend. So
Oh man,
Well,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
so
bring up events, man. So you bring up events. I was on the internet, and I was on website Rolling on Three. You probably familiar with them, right?
yeah, well, I'm rolling on
Uh,
3 Memphis.
yeah, yeah. So
So
they was posting the WAP in Houston.
yeah.
And for all y'all that don't know, WAP is stands for We Having a Party, not the other WAP that y'all thinking
Right.
about. Not
Right.
one. So tell me about your experience with them kind of events, man.
Man, I love them, man. It's just a lot of like-minded people where you see a bunch of bikes. People come from all over. Like I said, from the guy that he is the founder of Rolling on Three. He's from Houston,
Okay.
so Orlando Alexander. So he founded like the Rolling on Three chapter in Houston. So that's where it kind of started from. So now I think it was up to, I don't know if it's 20 plus cities,
Oh,
like a Rolling
nice.
on Three. Yeah, like Memphis, Texas, East Texas, St. Louis. I mean, there's so many chapters of the Rolling on Three, and it's just having like a family of people where you can go and like
Okay.
ride with. So that's where it like started from.
and
So
y'all
even
be
people that's not rolling on three, come to Houston just to
Yeah.
ride.
Okay.
now. Do you have to have a bike to come to some of your events? Have to be when y'all having a party? Can just a regular civilian non-rider like me pop up?
Yeah, definitely, man. We welcome everybody. I mean, anybody that's you got a bike, not have a bike, slingshot. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's different from the MC. I'm gonna call it the MC because that's the motorcycle club,
Yeah,
right?
motorcycle clubs. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So we call these groups like riding groups because
Kind
we're
of like a
not,
car club.
yeah, like a car club because it's not. affiliated with the MC because you have to go through
Mhm.
their rules and regulations.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit different, especially as far as like the women riding. You know, they got special rules for MCs as far as women joining. So we don't have that. So it's we call them riding groups.
So
So
I
it's a
can
little
I
bit
can
different.
I can pull up and ride in my Kia behind y'all.
I wouldn't advise it. You can if you were to kill, they're gonna put you out of line. You know what I mean? You gotta stay back.
Now just hop on the back of somebody's bike, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. You might not want to get. You better meet us at the spot. Find out where we going.
Oh, I tried to set you up, my
Hey,
bad.
hey,
Yeah, right,
I tell y'all, I'll be behind you.
right. But
Ride.
people have done that. I mean, they tried like to follow the bikes. It's hard to do for one thing because you ain't gonna be
Oh,
able to keep up.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
have like road captains where we go through the lights and stuff like that. So it's gonna be
Mhm.
hard for a car to follow the bikes and do that. So I wouldn't advise you do it, but people have done it.
So now back in the day, man, it used to be what Black Bike Week and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
think
they
are these
still
taking
got it.
the place of those, or they still do that?
No, they still do it. They still do
Okay,
it. The
okay,
three wheel things, the events, they really kind of separate from the two wheel.
okay,
Because
okay.
a lot of those guys, these are guys they don't accept the three wheels as a motorcycle. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So a lot of them don't, a lot of them do. You know what I mean? It just depends. Because I mean, I hang with a lot of guys, or hang with like a few of the MCs in Memphis, and they cool with it. But some of them not.
yeah,
So I guess you have to know where to go, and you know what I mean. It's just like that. Some people don't like the slingshots because it's big like a car. They're like, man, that's not a motorcycle. It's
yeah.
not a bike. So I'm like, well, what category do it fit in?
Right.
It's like
It's
something
not a
that's
go kart.
right. Yeah, it is, but you can't call it a go kart. So
Right. It's going too fast. It's moving too
yeah,
fast.
so man, it's crazy.
So
now,
the three wheels are more. That's the same thing as a trike, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
now,
as far as
what similarities do you see between your trucking and being in one of these riding clubs?
man, it's a lot. I mean, a lot of guys that's into trucking, they have motorcycles, or either they got the spiders, because you got to be able to do something, or these all older people anyway. I need to do a video on that anyway, just so people can recognize these are older people. Now they might think, well, when we first started, they was thinking us a bunch of kids, they riding fast. But if you actually look at the video and pay attention, these are people's uncles,
Mhm.
grandma, aunties. I mean, we out there riding
Auntie outside.
and
I
with no
seen some of
problem.
them.
Yeah, we outside. That's
Hey,
what
I
they
seen some of the aunties on the video.
yeah, so it's a little bit different as far as the age group. I say I want to say 40 and up, but you got some 30s or whatever in there, and a lot of people that's into trucking, they got bikes, or the trucking guys, they got the Corvette groups, and you got to be doing something to even afford like toys as we
Yeah.
call them. So it's not like a lot of young people that can afford like extra toys and stuff anyway.
Now I see you be everywhere. So is it like do y'all ride like so many miles per day in your group? I mean, I've seen you in New York. I've seen you in
Yeah.
Baltimore, Atlanta, Chicago,
Man,
St. Louis.
cross country
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you
Yeah.
moving like a truck. I mean,
Right.
I see you
Right
really
on the
moving
bike.
everywhere.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
that's what I
like
tell people. They don't realize, I guess, because I don't look like a trucker. So when I first started truck driving, I didn't want to look like a trucker anyway.
Yeah.
So now that I drive a truck, they don't realize all the stuff that I had did. Like I said, 16 years in trucking, I already know how to get to these places and to
Hmm.
know people from these places to get out and be able to ride and socialize. Man, I love it. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I
so.
have
Do y'all
roads to a lot of these places.
So what do y'all do? Y'all just meet up in this location. It's like, hey, Memphis, we finna go to Chicago and meet up with the Chicago club, and we gonna ride for I don't know 5 hours or 8 hours a day.
Now, where it's really organized, it's like an organized event. You mentioned Chicago. They got the Chicago Riker Riders.
Mm-hmm.
So with their group, they put out a whole itinerary, like what they're gonna do Friday, what they're gonna do Saturday, and everybody leaves Sunday. So it's like organized, like with a schedule. They might have a ride out. We ride downtown. Okay, we're gonna go to the park like from a certain time, 12 to 6. Then we just ride. Then we come back to a certain spot. So they have it set up like really good, man, to even host one of the events. You
But,
know, it's getting better and better the more we do it.
but coming from Tennessee, how do y'all organize as a group the transportation of getting there? Because you're looking at, 20, 30 or so more people on motorcycles.
Right. I
And the
mean,
coordination of that and the logistics of just getting from point A to point B with everybody.
right, right. Well, the people from Memphis, at first, when I first started going, I was riding because it's cheaper. That's like the main thing. So let's say from Memphis to Chicago, I might have spent $60 in gas on my bike.
Oh wow,
Mm,
okay.
So, but this year I put my bike on a trailer. So I always had a trailer, but it only fit one bike.
yeah.
So I didn't want to trailer my bike and everybody else ride. So I was riding. So then I got a trailer that'll fit like two bikes. So I used to tell my partner, man, I got a trailer, we can put both our bike on there. And he'll
Now
say,
you got
nah, man, I'm riding. He say, I'm still riding. So,
Right.
so I put my bike on the trailer, like, hey man, I'll see you when we get there. So, cause it's not easy, man. It's a long ride.
It's gonna
But
be a tough ride on that bike that far.
yeah, it's easy. I mean, like I say that because we're a truck driver, so we used to
Yeah.
driving anyway.
that's gotta hurt after a while.
Yeah. It don't. I ain't never had a problem.
Now you mentioned like those Harleys, like I see those guys on those Croc Rockets or whatever when they got their arms
Yeah,
spread it out, and I'm like, that's gotta hurt going
yeah.
long distance with your arms like this, trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
ride
yeah.
everything.
Man, if you ask them guys, they like, man,
I can
it
see.
don't hurt, it don't nothing. They
Yeah,
used
they ain't
to
gonna
it.
tell
That's
you
what
that
they
hurt.
do. Right, yeah. But they got comfort seats, man. They got pillows they sit on. They got different stuff you can do when you're going on a ride, so you know what you need. But
Mm,
I'm gonna tell you, as far as like the people that don't ride, they got organized transportation. They got people that's got trailers, like the
mm-hmm.
gooseneck trailers. You seen the guys that's doing the transporting
Yeah.
with the like the dualies and the trailers on the back.
Hmm.
So they do transporting for that. And most of the time they charge, let's say like $500 a bike. I'm just throwing like a number out there. It depends on how far you're going. So it's like 500 to 750 to transport your bike. So they do like have transportation or 18 wheeler. Some people to go to the Houston WAP, like we said, they had a guy, he had an 18 wheeler and he transport, let's say like 30, 40 bikes in his truck. So I mean at like 750 a bike, he might
Damn.
make, 20,
Yeah, he
25,000 a
made money. He done
weekend.
made a business.
Boy, you
Yeah,
better
so
do.
so it's a way to do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do you see next in both your career and as a biker?
Man, my career, I'm doing like local, like pickup and delivery now. And I hate that. So I gotta switch up from that, like in the city. So what you do is they give me, let's say like 10 deliveries. So I'm in the 18 wheeler, like in the day cab truck. That's without the sleeper on it, with a 53-foot trailer. So you riding around the city, you gotta do 10 deliveries. That means I'm doing 10 stops. You gotta back in 10 times, man. It's a lot, like getting in and out the truck. When I was doing like the double trailers, I mean, like you said, I was pulling the doubles, it's from A to B.
Hmm.
So I'm hooking up, driving like to a terminal. When you do double trailers, you go terminal to terminal, or you meet another driver. Say we go halfway. Somebody come from Dallas, I come from Memphis. We swap trailers, and you go back. So
Oh,
like with the pickup and delivery I'm doing now, I got to get out. I might have to unload. I got a pallet jack. You know what I mean? It's real work. So
oh
so
yeah, I can
I'm
see you
about to
got
switch back over. Man, real soon as far as the career. And as far as ride, man, I don't know. I mean, I was looking into I wanted to trade my spider for a slingshot. So it's different stuff you could do. So I started off with a Riker and I traded that Riker for a spider. So then I was looking at the slingshot. So it's still gonna be something three wheel, something like that. I don't know. I might keep it. Depends on like the numbers got to add up. Depends on what I do with that. But
Okay.
uh, yeah, we definitely looking into like bringing an event to Memphis because, like I said, different cities we do different events every year.
Mm.
I'm about to get
Okay,
down there and ride with
so
y'all.
with you, so
Yeah.
with you having this such a long career in trucking and riding bikes, what advice would you give your younger self, if any?
As far as trucking, man, I don't know. When trucking, I could have did my 2 years, and you go to the LTL trucking, like what I'm doing, that's less than truckload, like
Mm,
as far as pulling the double trailers.
mm-hmm.
So I see the guys that's been doing that. It's one guy that worked with me now. He's been doing it for 27 years. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, if you could stay put for that long and you get your 401k up, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, for 27 years, I mean, you set, you got it made.
yeah, for
Because
real.
yeah, so I mean, that's something to do, something to look at. So that's what I would tell my younger self, like as far as trucking. So, but you still got to do your 2 years first to get to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yeah,
Is there any advantages, as you mentioned, as you go over your career, where, like, just say you work for a company, let's just throw Walmart out there,
right,
driving for a company for 20, 30 years versus being your driving on your own? Do you see any advantages either way?
yeah, definitely. I have done leasing a truck. That's like the next step down from owning your own truck as far as
Mm-hmm.
purchasing your own truck. So
Uh,
leasing gonna get you ready to buy your own truck. So therefore, when you lease, you still got the expenses. You got
mhm,
to buy your tires. You got to
Mm-hmm.
maintain the truck, and you got a truck note. So I'm gonna throw out some numbers to you, like we was talking. I'm a numbers guy myself. So
mhm.
when I leased a truck, it was like $1,000 a week. This was in 2010 now, so
That's not too bad.
it sounds not too bad.
No, no,
You
that's
know,
Leasing a truck
for
a
18
week,
wheeler.
yeah, that's a week. So $1,000 a week. That's like with the truck and the insurance. The fuel I paid. I mean, I'm gonna throw that out for the year. The fuel I paid was like 35,000 in fuel costs. So I'm like, well, people don't even make 35,000, and I
Mhm.
spent that in
for
fuel
real.
cost and diesel. So if you go like to owner operator, it's still like the same thing. You got the expenses. So when people say I made 200,000, you might have made it, but you spent 120,000.
I was just about to say.
Yeah. So
Just from the truck running the gas, you at 86,000.
exactly, exactly. So and you with a company that's on that side of it. But as a company driver, if you make 80,000, you made 80,000, subtract your taxes or whatever. So you don't have
Mm-hmm.
no expenses, no nothing. So you're not far off from an owner operator, but you got the rules. You got to go through the rules with the company. You got to do what they want you to do. You got to not have the following distance. That's what people don't like about
Yeah.
the company, just the rules, and they might have a camera in the truck and things like that. So
And one thing you didn't mention, the insurance that you got to have for the truck.
right. I mean, that's mandatory. I know I had one guy, man, he's got up to like 7 trucks, 7 or 8 trucks now. He started off with one truck. Now he got 8 trucks. And he was telling me that the insurance just say is 23,000 a month for 8 trucks. So I'm like, man, how do you operate like that when you giving away 23,000? So
Dang.
I mean, he got to be making the money. I didn't want to go into, man, how much you make it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but that's a lot you just giving away. So
Yeah.
just think about this a month, 23,000 in insurance. We ain't even talking about the fuel costs for 8 trucks in a month. So man, that's 30, 40,000 easy every month that he ain't even touching.
Damn.
And
So
for
it's a
all,
lot.
so I
Yeah.
want to ask you for those. Can you be a felon and get a CDL?
Yeah, man, they got guys, they getting CDL in prison now. So
Yeah.
they coming out
That's
of
real
prison
quick to
with a
come up.
That's part of the work program now, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what's up.
So
If you out there and you need a skill, this man and drop jewels on you. Go get you a company. Go to school. Go to a
yeah,
company that will pay for your school and drive for them for 2 years, and you
exactly.
feed your family and hopefully avoid them bars, going back behind them bars in the future.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. Exactly. I always tell people that, man, just get into like trucking. If you don't have a certain skill, if you're not the 9 to 5 guy, a lot of people, a lot of guys do trucking where you can make more money. I
Mhm.
mean, it's only take time. It's
Yeah.
gonna take your time then to go to school. Like I said, it's 3 weeks. Let's say if it take a month, I mean, it's definitely worth it to
Yeah.
be able to make the money, like you said, to feed your family and do what you want to do.
Man, I appreciate you coming on here and taking us through this journey of trucking and motorsports with us, as we call it, trucking and trilling. Y'all be
Right.
sure to check Derrick out on YouTube at Derrick Crowley TV. That's
Yeah.
Derrick Crowley, Crowley TV on YouTube. Anywhere else they can find you at, or that's the best location? Anything else you
Uh,
want to say?
yeah, I do. I always post on Facebook. It's Derrick Crowley Senior, and Instagram is backwards Crowley dot Derrick Senior, I believe it is. So, and I just got on TikTok. I think it's the same thing, Crowley dot Derrick Senior. So I'm doing like the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and
You're a busy
what
man.
YouTube. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Y'all be sure to check him out, like it, and subscribe. And as always, you can catch our content on www.aliafter5.com, where it will link you to this radio station, our YouTube, and our Discord. Join us in Discord. We have some interesting topics and conversations going on inside of our Discord.
Mhm.
Until next time, we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. So until next
Hey.
time, y'all be safe out there, especially you on them three wheels and out there trucking.
definitely, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I
And for y'all,
appreciate it.
y'all be safe and stay out of his way.
They ain't
Stay
got to worry about me.
out of the truck's way. Stay out of these
Right.
truckers' way. They have governors where they can't speed up like you want. So don't be
Exactly.
frustrated. Be
Yeah,
patient with them.
Yeah, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight behind them. Like they need to be able to control it in a good way.
definitely.
Yeah, everybody keep chasing your passion. Like I said, if you got a dream, take your time to go to school, learn, and you got to practice. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. And we will see you next Wednesday.